Okay. Okay, cool. So today we'll discuss what is the built-in function. So uh, what is the built-in function? What is the use of it? Okay. So we'll see. There are few built-in functions already I have written here. Okay. Following types of functions are there. Arithmetic functions, string function if you want to perform some modification or something. Okay, if you want to get the length of any particular string, whatever the value you are passing, right, at the time of inserting the record into the table. Okay, I want to check what is the length of any what is the length of a particular name. Okay, what is the floor, what is round. Okay, so what all these function will do. Okay, as square root, seal, okay, floor, round, power. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, so here we'll see how many tables are there. Okay, so tables are there. Let me check the data. Okay, so these are few tables I'm having already, and data is this one. So now we'll see. Okay, first we'll see what is the use of seal method. Select seal function. Okay, so if you want to see what is the seal value of 12, that is 12 only. What is the seal value of 12.9? Again, okay, so 13. Okay, now what is the value for 12.05? 13. 12.50, 13. That means it is taking the round off value. Okay, so 13 only. So this is the basic use of seal function, and we'll start from arithmetic function. So that's why I'm using here seal first. So you can see here. So this is the function called seal, and it's an arithmetic function. Okay. So if I want to perform some arithmetic operations, in that case we should use arithmetic function, and these functions are already provided. Okay. These functions are already provided by DB vendor, so we have to just use them. What is the use of sqrt? If I want to take the square root of some value, in this case you will get the return value as 8 because we have passed the 64. So what is the square root of the 64? 8. What is the square root of 65? 8 point something. Okay, so this is how you can see here. So you understood what is the square root, what is the seal. Okay, seal value is basically to take the, if any floating point number is there, so whatever the actual integer number is there, next value of that value will be seal value. So if you will pass seal as 13 or maybe 64.01, what will be the value? What is the value we will be getting here?
65. 65. 65.
Yes, correct. Yes, Bobalan. So we will be getting 65. Okay, so now if I will pass 65.90, again 69, 66. Okay, if I will not pass 65 point something, it will return the same value because there is nothing to be considered. Okay, so this is that you need to remember.
Can I print the negative value?
Fine. The value will remain
Yes.
same. Okay, whatever the value you are passing, okay, it doesn't matter the sign of that particular value. Okay, if you are passing negative value, you will get the negative answer. If you're passing negative value, then again, so here in this case 65 is the approximate value. In the case of negative, it is returning the same number. Let me just, okay, but in the case of positive value, you will see the difference. It will return 66, but in the case of negative, it will show you exactly the same value. Okay. Okay, fine. Now we will see what is the use of floor. Okay, select floor. Okay, and we'll pass 12.05. Okay, so any any of you are having any of this, in what is the use of this floor function? Can anybody tell? If I will pass 12.05, what will be the answer? Hmm? So, mhm. Okay, but if you are passing 6, 7, then also, so whatever value you will pass, it will return the same value. It will not consider any floating point integer. Okay, whether no matter what is you are passing here, it will ignore the floating part. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Okay, so here one thing you just observe here. Okay, if we are selecting this thing, anything, I mean not only this, earlier we will be using seal, right? So okay, so at the in the result set, the column name what you are getting, seal 12.98. Okay, floor 12.98. I don't want this. Okay, I don't want the column name like this. So how we can change this value? At last you just have to write as value. Okay, as value. So it, I mean, as value if you will write, so the column name will become now value. You can pass any name here. As, you can say seal value, it will come as seal value. If you want as floor value, okay, the column name will be changed. Okay, so it will be more I mean it will be more clear if you will specify the column name like this. Okay, so whenever, I mean, if I'm selecting the record from the customer table, select star from customers table. So these are the customer tables. In the case of star, all the columns will come as it is. But suppose there is a table where the column name is not very easily, because in this tables customer id, customer name, account type, these are very, very clear and cut, I have defined the column name. But suppose in some cases, okay, in some cases you are not getting the column name like this, something you will get the column name something like this, 00, okay, xx something, and similarly like. So if you want to change this value, because you know what is this, so you can specify like this, select. So here in the previous table, if I want to select customer id, customer name, okay, from customers table, it will give you customer name and customer id. Okay, I don't want the name to be used like this. I want c. Okay, or you can say id. So select, say id as id, and select cname as name. Suppose I want to change the column name like this in this particular result set. So you will get this whatever column name you provided, ID and name. Similarly, it will come like, okay. So why I am telling this thing to you guys is because in some cases you will find that if you will see the description of this table here, customers. So you are just seeing your customer ID, customer. So in some cases, the column are not too that much specific. Okay, you will be getting the column name like this, underscore something, underscore 34 something. Okay, so in this case, this column name, maybe you are if you are not specifying any name here, so it is not understandable by other people because you know what is this, what and all the values are being provided while you will select the record for this particular column. Okay, but maybe this result set will not make any sense to other people who are not belongs to your database. Maybe they don't know, they don't have any idea about your data. Okay, in that case you can replace the name as, suppose this is the anything, I mean, maybe this is the detail of container id, container id something. Okay, it's not mandatory, I mean it is not like it is an example just I'm giving. Okay, so similarly you can specify the name of the particular column. So what, how will you write? Select underscore tool, okay, double zero something, okay, as container id, because this column is known as container id. Okay, from whatever table. So you can define it like this. Clear? So now we have seen the seal function, floor function. Okay, so now we will see what is the round function. Select. I want to take round off value 13.2521 suppose. What is the round off value for this? And I want as a round off value. Can anybody tell now? What is the round off value for this? Last saying 14. Okay, see here. The round off value for 13.21 is 13 only, because if it is 13.53, in that case the value would be 14. Okay, so that means it is closer to 14. Got it? So if it is greater than 13.50, okay, then it will take the next integer. You can take 76 also, it is similar to 14 only. But if you are specifying 25, that means it is equal to 13 only. Round of value will be 13. Okay, so this is the floor seal round. Now I want the power. Okay, so how to specify? Select power of 14. Okay, what is the 14 to the power 3? Suppose if I want to take like this. Okay, in this case as power value. So 14 to the power 3 is 2744. Okay, so this is the use of power function. So I think all the function I have covered in arithmetic: square root, seal, floor, round, power. Suppose I want to take mod. Select mod of -23. Minute. Okay, that we'll see later. Okay, so now few functions are related to string. If we want to manipulate the string, if you want to know the details of the string, so these are the functions that you can use, okay, for modification of string. So length, trim, ltrim, rtrim, lpad, okay, substring, concat, ASCII value of that particular uppercase, lowercase, replace, okay, and char, init cap, lowercase and uppercase. Okay, so we'll see in my one. Now if I want to take 1 minute. Okay, you'll see, select length. I want to check what is the length of the string what I'm providing here. What is the length of string of Java puzzles? Suppose. Okay, you can use as syntax also as length. Okay, if you will not specify as length, what will you get? Okay, so this is the length of this particular string. Okay, so you can give any string. Okay, so remember this thing, the space is also counted as, okay, if I will give 12, if I will make, and if I will give any space 13, so space is also important character and it will be treated as one character. Okay, so you can see here. Now we'll see what is the trim. Okay, maybe there is a space, okay, before string and after the string in a, and if I want to trim, so see here, we'll see, we will change here as trimmed value. Okay, see here, so now there is no space in between, I mean before string and after string. Okay, we want to check the length of this. Let me check it if I can. Okay, the length of the trimmed value is 11. If I will, okay, and you can simply check it here. If you are not trimming, then the length would be 16, because three spaces are in at beginning and two spaces are at end of the string. So that's why here the length of the string is 16. But if you're using trimming, if you're trimming it, okay, so beginning and end the space will be removed, and in that case the length also would become 11 now. Okay, now we'll see. No, I don't want to remove the space from beginning. Okay, don't want to remove the space from beginning. I want to remove the space from last. So that means is I should use R trim. That means right side trim I want. Okay, and you can see here I will not use length now. Just for demonstration purpose, I just use it so you can now understand. So from right side, this space is removed. Now if I want to remove only from left side, okay, and at the last I don't want to remove this space. So you can see the difference of this string, and here you will get the space here at last, but from at beginning there is no space because already you used left side. So from left side I want to remove the space, use L trim, and from right side if you want to remove the space, use rtrim. Okay, fine. Now we'll see alpad and rpad. What is the use of alpad and what is the use of rpad? Alpad and some string I'm passing. Okay, and 5. Okay, so if I want to, let's see here. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so what does it mean? You can now observe. So okay, I mean, uh, after this 12, I mean, I want the left side, I want to append star, okay, at the 12th character. Okay, so you have to start from and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and here okay, so after 12th character here it will start the, it will add, or it will append star. Here you can see. Okay, if I want to add and or something, you can append it like this, and left side. Now if I want to append the and at right side, it will append the and at right side. But if you are not passing this 12, because if you are passing 5, so and you are using rpad, so from left side you start counting 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, it will take the value up to here, so we'll see here. Okay, and rest of the thing, okay, it will not take. Okay, for that always you make sure whatever the length of the string is there, that much length, and after that only you can append or you can do something if you want. Okay, anybody is having any kind of doubt? Okay, so let's see here. See here, so what it will do, it will, because whatever the length you are specifying, right? So the meaning of this is basically, so whatever the length you are specifying, if it is lesser than the present length of the string, it will not do anything. It will not append anything. Okay, whatever the length of the string is there, if it is lesser than the length you provided here, it will not do anything. And whatever the length it is there of that particular string, and the length of the and you are providing the length is greater than the current length of the string, so in that case it will make sure this, whatever the string you are just wanted to create, okay, the make sure the length would be same, and what it will insert to make that length up to 15, it will insert the character whatever you are passing. Okay, if you are passing rpad, it will insert at right end, and if you will pass, if you will be using alpad, that means it will append the character at the left side. Any doubt now, anybody? Sorry, got it? Okay, cool. So okay, now we'll see what is the use of uh, concat. Okay, and here you can specify as result something, some column, if, because earlier what was the column name coming like this. Okay, so it's not feasible, so you can use like this. Okay, now we'll see concat. I want to concat two string. One string is Java, another string is puzzles. Okay, as result. See here, the string is being concatenated. We are having some space in between, it will add the space also. Okay, so this is the basic use of uh, concat. Now we'll see what is the use of ASCII. I want to take the ASCII value of, what is the ASCII value of character capital A? Anybody is having any idea about this? Okay, so in the ANSI standard, there are some specific, okay, character value are defined into that ASCII table, or you can say that they defined as Unicode for each character. Okay, so you can find out like this. If you want to check what is the ASCII value of capital A, 65. Now for a small a, it is 97. Okay, and what about 49? For 0, 48. Okay, so make sure from 48 to 58, okay, there are the characters of digit 0 to 9, and from 65 to, let me check it here, 65 to 90. Okay, these ASCII values are from capital A to capital Z. All the characters from 65 to 90 are the ASCII value for capital alphabets. Now if I want to take the smaller, I mean alphabet, okay, lower alphabet, in that case we'll start from 97 and it will end till 97 plus 26. Okay, so these are the way how to, take the ASCII value. Now I want to print, what is the, I know ASCII value, now I want to print the character. Got it? Because earlier I was having the character, I wanted to find the ASCII value. Now my requirement is I know what is the ASCII value. Okay, so I want to print the character. So in this case, you can see here A. Okay, what about 122? Z. Okay, something. So the question mark is having ASCII value 183. Similarly, you can print it like this. Okay, 97 is also having no, I mean that means it is no, because it is not printing, that means something else. Let me print 12. It is okay, so here it is not visible actually. A few characters are there, okay, but those are not visible. Like, it's okay. But if you know few ASCII values and characters, okay, it would be fine. At least you should know the numbers from 0 to 9 and capital alphabet and lower alphabet. So you should know this. Now my requirement is I want to uh, convert a string into lowercase. Okay, use the lower function, and okay, and maybe like this. Okay, something, the string is something like this. I want to convert this string as into lower. Okay, as lowercase. I'm sorry. Okay, I want to convert this string into lowercase. See here, all the characters have been converted into lowercase. Okay, I want to convert into all characters into uppercase. In this you can use upper function. So this is the use of upper and lower. Now I will use one more function called lcase. Okay, so you can see all are converted into, maybe let me just show you here. So lcase also will work as same, and ucase we will see all will be converted into uppercase. Okay, so there is no difference between lower and L case and upper and U case. Okay, now we'll see what is the, I mean, how to take the substring. I am having the complete string. I want to take some, you know, substring out of that. So there is a method called or function called substr, and okay, I want to take the from third characters onward. So from third character 0, 1, 2, and so not like this, not start from 0 here, we'll start from 1, 1, 2, 3. So from here it will take entire string. So you can see it here. Now I want to specify the range from 3 to, okay, don't want to take entire string from third character. I want to take only 5 characters, okay, from third characters onward. It will take only 5 characters from 1, 2, 3 third characters onward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 characters it will take from third characters onward. Okay, fine. Now we will see one more method is there, substring, or you can say f string. The same only. Okay, no difference. Now we'll see. Okay, so few functions are there. Okay, which will work into Oracle, that we'll see today evening class. Okay, because in one of other system I am downloading and I'm installing Oracle. Okay, so I'll show you the some examples into Oracle as well as few basic command in Oracle in today's session at night. At the time of, I mean, 6 to 8 there is a class is there today. Now we'll see some other function, conversion function. Okay, so few functions are conversion function. If I want to convert some string into date, okay, or maybe some directly into to date, to char, to number. Okay, we'll see now what is the use of those. We'll see. So now maybe there is one table, select from customers. So at last you can see here dob, and I have defined this column as date, right? So I have defined this DOB column as date. Now I want to insert the value of date. So how can I insert? So let me just okay, here uh, description of customers table. I will insert into customers. Okay, insert into customers values. So I'll provide some value. Okay, and the first customer ID, it's a kind of primary key already. Okay, so maybe this is the foreign key actually in some way. Anyway, I'll just insert this record and okay, and let me just say one not one, one not okay. The combination of some column actually, that's right. Okay, so instead of this, let me take it a different table. Nothing is there. Let me add one more column. Alter table, table name, add column, column name, and of type date. Added. Now let me just see here, date of birth is null. I'm just updating the student table, setting the date of birth as some date of birth name. Okay, where student ID is 67. It's updated. Okay, you can see here. Now my requirement is I want to use the str to date function. So we'll see. So generally, if we want to insert some date, let me just insert a simple record description of student table. You see here, there are total 5 columns. I want to insert into, okay, table called student, and I want to insert some values. For student ID, let me take as 102. Student name, I'm taking as some student name, email, and city, okay, and date of birth. So you have to provide the string always like this. Okay, so always you have to provide the date like this. But I don't want to provide the date into this format. Okay, in MySQL, I don't want to provide the date because I don't have the date into this format, suppose. Okay, so one thing you make sure first that always a date value will be inserted into this format only in the case of MySQL. I already told you that in MySQL, date value always will be stored inside the DB like this. Okay, so you can say this is the month. Okay, so always it will be stored like YYYY. Okay, MM and day. In the case of Oracle, it will store like this: DD, MM, and so this is the, you just make sure date you can store it in MySQL like similar in this format and in Oracle this format. Now, but I want to insert the data into MySQL and I don't have the date into this form. Maybe okay, I'm having the date into something like this, but I want to insert this value into date automatically. Okay, so now I have to write some formula. So always whenever I will pass this string, okay, automatically this value should be inserted like this. How to make this? Because if you are having one or two value, you can just specify like this manually. But I want to automate this. How to do that? So how you can do like this? You have to do. So instead of providing the date like this, okay, you can use this function called str to date. This is the function. Now here you pass which I am having the date value like this 5 and maybe some, okay, and so you just specify here which is the first value is month, and or maybe this is the date, and the second one is month, and third one is uh, year. Okay, so you know that what is this string stand for. Instead of this, let me just clarify more. 12 and 31, so it will be more clear. So now 31, we know what is this is the day. Okay, this is the day, and I just have to specify the format of the existing string what I'm going to pass. So I'm passing this string, okay, capital by small m and small d. You remember this. Now if you will insert, the date will be inserted into appropriate form, because you specified already that whatever I'm passing here, right? So here you can see 102, okay, and date you have passed as 31st 12 and okay. So 1 minute. Okay, let me change this ID. Okay, we see why it is not working. Okay, what was the query I was giving? Okay, okay, I'm sorry. Actually, I was using the wrong customer name, right? Wrong table name, correct? I was using wrong table name. Yes, 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 Ullas. So I haven't seen your messages. Anyways, sorry guys. So we should use the proper table name and while selecting the data. Select from. You can see here all the date is being inserted. 3 times I have inserted. Okay, so there is no problem at all. But in the case of, see here, this is the function which will work into MySQL, and if you want to do the same thing into Oracle, this is the function you have to use. So this is only the difference. str to date function can be used will be used into MySQL, and to date function will be used into Oracle. There is no difference apart from this. And now we'll see if I want to know. Okay, if I want to know uh, system date. Okay, what is the today's date? In that case, what we will write? We will write select sysdate function. Okay, you can see here So today's dated and whatever the time it is into my current system. Okay, now you can use this function also. Now function also will give you the same value. You can use, so whatever system date is there, okay, whatever system date is there, I want to take only date value. So this is the function you can use outside of this. Okay, now you see what is the date. I want to get only time from this string. You can get it only time. If I want to take only month, okay, you can specify like this. You will see what is the month now, and I want to take day is the way, and if you want to take the year, this is the function. So like this. Okay, so to char function will work. Okay, let me see. Okay, so let me see here. Select, okay, to char, and I will pass this date, and I want into this format. Ed, okay. Okay, so to char function generally we cannot use it here. Okay, this function you can use it into Oracle because this function is valid into. Okay, so there is no function like this. So make sure this to char and toNumber functions are there into Oracle. So we'll see that. Okay, and we have already seen sysdate, now, date, time, month, day, year, and to char. So to char, where this function you can use into Oracle. Okay. Now few aggregate function we'll see: sum, min, max, average, and count. How to deal with these functions? So let me create one table. Create table, func table. Okay, I will specify some columns like id. Id is of type int. Name, the type varchar. I'm just creating the table. I think you know the syntax. Okay, and fees value I'm taking as float. This table I'm creating. The table is created. Description of func table. Three columns are present. Okay, and I will insert some data into this. Okay, then we'll see. I'll insert some data. Insert into func table. Insert id, name, fee, and values. First value, second value, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10 record I will insert and we'll see. Okay, it's not necessary that always id will be unique, but let's see here. Id, some name, a, and fees is something 98, 98, 989. Okay, id is 102, student, or maybe something b, name is b, 818. Okay, 103, c, 455, or maybe 345. Suppose 104, name, Maybe some floating values also, because this column I specified as float, right? So give some floating values also. Okay. Okay, so these many records I will insert. Select func table. So these many values are present. Now my requirement is I want to take the sum value. Okay, I want to take the sum value of fee. That means is I want to see my collection, how much fees I have collected. Okay, so in this case you can use select sum. So these are the aggregated function, sum of fees. Okay, from func table. Okay, this is the aggregated value. Okay, and I want to take the you can say we have seen already some lump sum value. Okay, I mean, so you can use which function we should use. Previously we have discussed we should use which function, round function, right? So see here, 7,945 is my collection. Okay, similarly if I want to take the average, what is the average of the fees? The average of the fees is 794. Okay, now I want to take which student or who paid maximum fees. This student 10 29, yes, and I have taken the round of value, that's why 1229 only is coming. What is the max? What is the minimum value? 345. Okay, so this is how these are some aggregated function that you can use. Okay, I want to see what is the count of student or what is the count of. Okay, so we will see select count. Okay, of all from func table. 10 10 entries are there. I want to see how many student paid the fees. 10 student. Okay, so this is how you can use the aggregate function. Okay, so any doubt, any problem? You see here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so we will see the sequence concept. Okay, how to create the sequence. But the sequence concept actually, if you want to specify any sequence in MySQL, okay, so in this case, this in this case directly you can use auto increment. Okay, there is one keyword called auto increment, which you can specify at the time of defining the table. So that particular column will be auto incremented. There is one sequence called auto increment in the case of MySQL. Okay, but if you want to create the sequence by your own custom sequences, by your own requirement, okay, in that case you have to use Oracle, because in the case in the Oracle they have given the facility to define your own sequence. But in the case of MySQL, there is only one way that you can use, only auto increment. We'll see what is the use of auto increment. See here. Let me see tables. Okay. Okay. Let me create one more table. Create table student 2. Okay. I'll define some column student ID. Okay. Maybe it's a primary key, and I have to I want to, because every time whenever user will insert some value, okay, it will be incremented automatically. I means user don't have to remember what is the value that I need to insert every time. Database has to manage all those things. Okay, so I will specify as auto increment. Select, I mean SID primary key auto increment. Okay, student name where okay, student email or maybe email and date of birth date. Okay, the problem. Okay, let me just change it here. Yes, Bubalan. Auto increment means to create a value automatically. Automatically it will create, also it will increment the value also. Suppose if I have inserted, okay, if I want to start the, so by default it will start the value from 1. Okay, and whenever you will insert the insert the record next time, so it will increase that value from 1 to 2 automatically. So you don't have to specify every time, you don't have to provide the SID value. Okay, always you have to provide just S name and email and date of birth. That's it. You don't have to provide these values. Okay, clear? Okay, so where um, okay, so there is a syntax error. Can anybody tell me now? There is one error I have done. Can anybody tell what is the error here in this syntax? Just respond fast. What is the error? Primary key delete. If I will delete the if I will delete the primary key, okay, how will I specify this particular column as primary key? I want to specify. Yes. So Bobalan is saying correct. So I have forgot to specify the data type. You're right. Okay. So this time this query is correct and table is created. Now we'll see what is the use of sequence. So I will check the description of student table. Okay, so now you can see SID is of type int, null is not allowed because it's a primary key, default is null. Okay, and extra what I have specified is auto increment. We'll see insert into table. Okay, and I don't have to provide ID. Okay, I will provide S name directly. Since it is since I specified this SID column as primary key, Okay, some value must be provided, but I'm not providing it through here. Database will provide automatically. Okay, date of birth values. We don't have to provide that value. We have to just provide as name, email, and date of birth. Okay, maybe I don't have proper format, so I will use str2 date, and I will provide the value. Suppose 13 and 5 6. You have to specify the format also. First value is day, second value is month, small m, and third value is okay. Okay, so dated, inserted, select from student 2. Okay, so date I have inserted according because was not having the date into the exact format. I'm having the date into this format. Then also I want to insert. So this is the way you can insert, but date will be inserted always into by, mm, and dt format. Okay, as well as I haven't provided the SID column value, and since I have specified SID as primary key, okay, as well as I have uh, mentioned this particular column as auto incremented. Okay, so that means database will provide some value to it. What will be the value? It will start from 1. Any confusion into this? Next time when I will provide any other value, okay, let me just change some value, a second record, okay, b and c, d, e. Okay, let me check what is the value now. You can see here automatically SID value will be inserted automatically, as well as it is incrementing also. Okay, so this is the use of auto increment. Okay, now my requirement is I don't want to start the SID value from first. Okay, I don't want to start the value from first. I want to start from 101. Okay, I want to start the value from 101. How to do that? So let me just drop this table, drop table student 2, again create, and at the time of creating, at the time of creating, okay, so we will remove this auto increment from here. You can specify at last also. Okay, net auto increment. Let me see the syntax here. If I want to start, okay, from value, from a specific uh, from a specific number. So then define it. Okay, fine. So what was the mistake I was doing here? You just see here, you don't specify this auto increment here now. At last, here you can specify auto increment is equal to 101. In this case, it will work. This time, okay, this time the value will be starting from 1. Now we'll see. Okay, check it here. Any doubt to anybody now? Any confusion? Got it? So this is the use, how you can use, and this is the use of auto increment sequence. Okay, so if you want to specify any sequence, in the case of MySQL, you have to use auto increment. Okay, so we'll see this. Okay, so sequence, what is the use of sequence? Sequence will be used to generate the value automatically by the database, and it is an object. Okay, and it will be independent from the table. Okay, it's an object and it is independent from the table. By using the sequence, only the integer value can be generated. This is also one thing that you need to remember, that if column is specified as int, okay, only that column related value will be generated by sequence. As we have seen, this table, this SID column, I have specified as int. So if the column is integer type, then only you can use the auto increment syntax. Okay, so in the case of MySQL, you can use one predefined sequence with the name called auto underscore increment. Auto increment allows a unique number to be generated when a new record is inserted into the table. Okay, and in one table you can define only one column as auto increment, and the column must be defined with any key specification. Okay, either unique or primary key. If you are not using any constraint, okay, if you are not defining any constraint with that column, let me see here. Okay, let me remove this table. Drop table name is student2. Okay, now I will create the table, and let not define auto increment here, and I'm just removing the primary key. I'm not defining this column as primary key. In this case, you cannot define. See what it is saying: incorrect table definition. Okay, there can be only one auto column and it must be defined as a key specification. That means only one column you can define as auto increment. Okay, and that column must be specified or must be using any of one constraint. Okay, either unique or primary key, right? If I will be using unique key, okay, if I'm not defining as primary key, I will specify as unique. That's it. In this case, it worked fine. It will not give any error. Okay. If I will insert some data, happily it will insert the data into the table. Okay, but here I haven't defined any incremented value from particular value. I haven't defined that value. If you want, you can again specify that value. You can start it from any specific value. You can see here. Okay, unique and auto increment value from 201. Okay, now let me insert some record. See this value. Okay, started from 201, 202, 203. Okay, generally we would like the value of the primary key field to be created automatically. So generally when we are going to create the when we are going to specify the auto increment, generally with the primary key. Okay, so to because the primary key always has to be unique, and we don't know whether this particular entry is already they exist into the database or not. So I will create the sequence. The syntax of the creating the sequence is like this: create table and table name. Okay, and this is how you can specify auto increment. Okay, and first name where can not null, last name this. Okay, and at last I'm defining this sid column as primary key. Remember this thing also. Okay, so if I'm not specifying primary key here, okay, at last also we have already seen, okay, the syntax of primary key earlier classes. Okay, so we can define primary key column like this also. Okay, MySQL uses the auto increment keyword to perform an auto increment feature, and by default the starting value for auto increment is 1, and it will be incremented by 1 for each new record. To let the auto increment sequence start with another value, use the following SQL syntax. What is the syntax? At last, okay, you can specify auto increment by some specific value, and you can insert the data like this. Insert into student. Okay, now maybe you have created the table and you forgot to specify a column. Okay, you forgot to specify a column. Uh, Column to define as auto increment. So in that case, what we have to do? So let's see here. I am dropping this table. Drop table student 2. Now it is deleted. Now at the time of creating itself, I have forgot to specify that this value, okay, this value to be generated from the particular number. Okay, then how to change the behavior? See, if I will insert the value, okay, value will be inserted every time. Always unique value will be generated and inserted into the table, but starting from 1, you can see here, right? Now I want to alter the table. I want to change the behavior of auto increment sequence. So what I can do? Alter table name. Okay, and change the auto increment value. It should start from 100. Okay, table is being altered. Now if I will insert some record again, okay, now you see, okay, so value is will start generating the sequence from 100, 101, 102. Similarly it will continue. Okay, so as long as you will insert a new record, it will create a new value and insert into table. Okay, so this is the use of auto increment syntax. Cool. So now we will, okay, so there is one more syntax, okay, in the case of Oracle, but we will see when we will discuss about Oracle. So in the case of Oracle, you can create the sequence as per your requirement, because here there is only one sequence called auto underscore increment that you can specify in the case of MySQL. But my requirement is, okay, to take the value. My requirement is something like this. Suppose I want to generate the sequence from 50, okay, and what I want, uh, till 2000, okay, I want to generate from 50 to 2000, okay, and every time the value should be incremented by 3, okay. So every time the value will be incremented by 3. So first value would be 50, second value should be 53, third value 56, fourth value 59, and similarly at the range of this sequence should be 50 to 2000. Okay, suppose at last my value is 997 or maybe 8, and next value would be, what will be the next value? I have to define this. Okay, I have to define that if it is crossing this limit, okay, then you again start from 50. So similar, I mean something like this. So this is kind of a requirement that I'm having. In that case, okay, you have to define your custom sequence. Okay, so if you want to define the custom sequence, you can define it into Oracle. There is no way you can define the custom sequence into MySQL. Okay, so we'll discuss how to specify sequences and all. Okay, so today evening my class timing would be 6 o'clock. Okay, so please be ready for that. And I think, let me close this session. If any of you are having any confusion, you just let me know. I'll provide this video, I'll upload it onto the YouTube. You can just have a look again, and if you are having any kind of doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so thanks for joining, all of you. Have a lovely day and see you soon at 6 o'clock sharp. Okay, fine. Okay.